Okay.
All right, so it looks like we're on. Welcome everybody to use the microphone. Welcome everyone to a budget briefing presented by the mayor's office. I'm going to invite the mayor and staff to come forward and share with us. It's not working? Hello?
1, 2, 3.
There we go.
Let's see if I can do this again. Take two. Good afternoon. We're here for a briefing from the mayor's office about the city budget. Mr. Mayor, I turn it over to you.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for giving us a little more time. I'll make this as quick as possible. I'm a little uncertain about your level of information at this point and whether I'm being repetitive to some extent, although I think I'm giving you considerable new information here today. In any event, I'm very confident that this budget will cause you less distress than any budget this administration has presented over our time in office. So on we go here, and to begin with, I think you would all agree that it's an exciting time to be a Lincoln resident. Our community is growing and changing like never before. Our thriving private sector is a national leader in innovation. Our economy is strong. Our unemployment rate is way low. Our young people are choosing to stay in Lincoln and to start careers and families. Our high quality of life and our low crime rate makes it an extremely attractive place to raise kids. We're adding about 3,700 residents a year as more and more people take advantage of the phenomenal opportunities right here in Lincoln. Our blueprint for the community is working, and now we need to keep Lincoln growing. And the 2018-2020 budget we are presenting, we believe, does just that. We developed our budget with three main goals in mind. Number one, our budget greatly increases our investment in public safety. Lincoln, again, has grown by 3,700 people and 7.9 square miles, 37,000 people and 7.9 square miles during the period of our administration. That's like adding the entire population of Kearney to Lincoln. Our budget adds 12 more police officers and grant match funding for as many as 15 additional firefighters to meet this phenomenal growth, to keep the crime rate down, and to maintain a quick emergency response. That's an additional approximately $3 million a year spent on public safety personnel. 56% of our tax budget this year is being spent on safety and security. I think that's the highest percentage ever. Secondly, maintaining Lincoln's growth doesn't happen by accident. We have to invest in streets and infrastructure and technology. Our budget recommends an annual investment of $65 million a year in street maintenance and construction, and an additional $50 million over 2 years to expand the city's sewer and water system. Innovation is a key to growth, as you all know, and this budget will help do several things in that regard, including helping bring high-speed internet access to every home and business in Lincoln. We are rapidly becoming a gig city in partnership with the private sector. Number three, the third thing is, our goal is to keep Lincoln growing without property tax increase. The mayor's 2018-2020 budget does not increase the property tax levy. The city portion of the levy will remain at 31.646 cents per $100 of valuation. The budget decisions we make are obviously critical to Lincoln's future, and we need to encourage more people to learn about those choices and become involved. And people are learning in different ways. Young people especially are learning in different ways. A 200-page budget book isn't the entire answer these days, so we've tried something different. Last Friday morning, we released the budget through an innovative video on the city website and social media. We're starting to see and present the budget at different levels to different groups of people at different points in time, including yourselves, pursuant to suggestions made by you all. I might say offhand, getting the budget more upfront a little bit has increased the possibilities for sharing more information in different ways and getting responses in different ways. So we released the budget through an innovative video on the city website and social media. We partnered with a unique community nonprofit that is helping engage the next generation of community dreamers and doers and leaders. So let's take a look at this if you haven't seen it already, and then we'll discuss the budget in more detail and take your questions if you don't send me packing for bad acting or anything here. All right? Thank you.
Lincoln After Dark.
Technology will always betray you. I have to run back there, Rick.
At least we're in the black.
Oh, sorry. Okay, as I stood around and watched, I guess it was on me first. I'm sorry, JD. One moment, sorry.
Rick thought it was magic. It just happened. Uh-oh.
One moment.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Rick, do you have that drive I gave you?
That drive?
Yeah.
I do not. Shoot. Is the server down?
Well, maybe we just skip it and go ahead and have Mary do somewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
I can go put it on a drive and bring it in.
My email, should I try that?
Here,
Let me try real quick.
all right, sorry. Hold on a second.
So far, so good. Let's see if we can. Let's arrange by.
Like watching a soccer game.
There you go.
Maybe I'm not gonna get it. See if this does it. Okay, good from here.
It may let you.
Oh, this might work. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, this looks like it's gonna work.
Hey.
Did it start? Aha!
The city's budget is the blueprint for how Lincoln grows and how we create the best opportunities for future generations. But this 200-page document is difficult for most people to understand. That's why I'm here today with Mike Smith, the founder of The Bay and also the founder of Rabble Mill. And first of all, I want to sincerely thank you for creating a safe place for kids to learn and grow. Do you think the kids can help us out with this problem? You know, we need a creative way to explain the budget to folks, and we'd like to, at the same time, highlight the work that you do here at the Bay.
Sure, Mayor, we'd love to help. We know the budget's important to our future, too. We merged here in Nebraska and the Bay to create Rabble Mill, and we're creating the next generation of thinkers, doers, and thought leaders. And we've got a skate park, coffee shop, and a digital art space, and we're excited to show you the inside, so let's go have some fun.
Great.
Lincoln is growing. The city has invested in streets, infrastructure, and technology, and it's paying off. More people and more businesses are choosing Lincoln.
Lincoln continues to have one of the lowest unemployment rates in the nation. Our city is being called recession-proof and the nation's top tech hotspot. The city budget supports continued growth and a strong economy with a high quality of life and opportunities for all.
Growth creates new tax revenues, and to keep from falling behind, the city needs to invest that growth dividend in community needs such as public safety and keeping our neighborhoods strong and vibrant. The proposed city budget accomplishes this in several key areas.
Lincoln residents have consistently ranked public safety as their top priority. The city budget reflects that, with 56% of the tax-funded budget going to public safety. That percentage has grown every year of Mayor Beitler's administration.
The proposed budget increases funding for police officers and firefighters by over $3 million a year. The city plans to hire 12 new police officers and fund a grant match for up to 15 new firefighters. About $2.3 million will fund up to 5 new fire engines and a new ambulance. Lincoln is a safe community, and these investments will help meet the needs of our growing city and keep us safe into the future.
Streets are essential to Lincoln's strong growth. The budget includes nearly $65 million a year to maintain and repair existing streets, and it expands infrastructure to support future growth.
Continued growth also calls for investing in strong and affordable neighborhoods with safe places for kids to play. That's why the budget adds $800,000 a year for parks and recreation needs, like saving for a new Air Park Recreation Center for families in Northwest Lincoln. The city also needs to fix existing park buildings and equipment, replace trees killed by the emerald ash borer, and maintain our natural areas like Wilderness Park.
Every family deserves a home, and Lincoln can use state sales taxes returned to the city to create more affordable housing. By reserving just 10% of these turnback taxes, the city can invest $200,000 a year in low-income areas to create housing that families can afford.
After reducing a huge backlog of sidewalk repairs, the city needs to act now to keep from falling behind. That's why the budget includes $1.5 million each year to repair neighborhood sidewalks.
As Lincoln grows, more and more people rely on public transportation to get to school, work, and appointments. The proposed budget invests $278,000 in StarTran to add evening hours for 3 routes and to increase midday service for 1 route.
A culture of innovation will prepare Lincoln for the future. The city's past investments in technology have led to more high-speed broadband access and more competition. That helps lower costs for residents. The proposed budget will help expand the system to the entire city and bring high-speed internet to every home and business in Lincoln. Lincoln is a gig city.
The city's 2 major sources of income are sales taxes and property taxes. Sales tax revenue is increasing over 3% a year, and the property tax base is growing. That provides the revenue the city needs to fund police officers, firefighters, and neighborhood services to a growing community. Revenue growth allows the city to meet increasing needs and add services without raising taxes. The proposed budget does not increase the property tax levy. Remember, the city receives less than 16 cents out of every property tax dollar, and Lincoln's property tax rate is one of the lowest of the state's 15 largest cities.
That was great, Mike. Thank you for putting some fun in funding. And thank you again for what you do for all the kids. It was stunning to see what all was going on. You need to come downtown this summer and try out our new means of transportation, an automated shuttle, no driver.
That sounds great, but can I show you my favorite way to travel first?
Sure. Oh. Oh, my. All right. Here we go.
To check out more of the work that we're doing and to support, head over to rabblemill.org.
Thank goodness. Thank you. That
Well,
was
I'm
nice.
impressed.
Well, there you go. I know you all are tremendously interested, and rightfully so, in transparency. I'm not sure I have to say that wasn't me there at the end.
Well played.
But I would be interested to know in the next few days whether you think that kind of element being added to the budget materials is a good thing for getting more people interested in and clued in a little bit and on their way to learning more about the budget. So I want to just thank Mike Smith one more time and the team at the Bay and Ravel Mill. They really are doing a great job with the kids, and I wasn't fully aware of everything they were doing until we did this little piece with them. And it certainly was fun to do, and it was nice to give them a little recognition for the amazing things that they're doing. Let me go back to a couple of the things that were hit upon slightly in that piece, and also some of the material that's been shared with you earlier. The video, of course, highlighted the plans to hire police and firefighters. The 12 new police officers include, I think as you understand, 6 school resource officers and a threat assessment officer that were a part of the recently passed Safe and Secure Kids interlocal agreement between the school district and the city. The firefighter funding needs some explanation. As you know, we applied for a SAFER grant from the federal government. If successful, it will pay a portion of the cost of the 15 new firefighters for 3 years, and our budget includes the required local grant match. We also budgeted $2.1 million over the biennium that will serve 2 purposes. At first, it will be used to fund the overtime to address a call volume that has increased at a rate of 3 times higher than the population growth since 2015. And after the 2018-20 biennium, the same funding will be needed and used to cover the full costs of new firefighters after the 3-year SAFER grant expires. Our budget supports strong, safe, and affordable neighborhoods. We're spending $3 million in sidewalk replacement and repair, a little bit more than the last budget. More than $800,000 a year is added to the parks and recreation budget for repair, replacement, and maintenance. That includes fixing neighborhood park amenities across the city and saving for the replacement of Air Park Rec Center. The money also will help us continue to remove and replace ash trees in preparation for the Emerald Ash Borer, and also to better maintain Wilderness Park. Neighborhood infrastructure improvements are, of course, vital components of strong neighborhoods. $3 million per year will go to residential street repair, fix parts of over 600 blocks over the next 2 years. 8 miles of water mains are also being replaced each year. Planning to create more affordable housing opportunities with a new investment opportunity, $200,000 in state money. The state returns to Lincoln the sales tax it collects in the area around Pinnacle Bank Arena. State law allows us to invest a portion of those turnback taxes on affordable housing in low-income areas. So we will partner once again with the private and nonprofit sectors to build new homes for low-income families. Lincoln is a great community in part because it serves everyone, takes a look at everybody's needs, and the city budget reflects that commitment to have broad concern. City residents depend on public transportation to get to school, work, and medical appointments, for example, and that's why our budget is investing an additional $278,000 in StarTran that allows for more evening hours in Bethany University Place and also in the at the Hart Hospital bus route, and more midday service in the Arnold Heights, on the Arnold Heights route. Infrastructure is the foundation of growth and progress. We all understand that. And in the area of streets, new streets help drive our economy. Maintaining our existing system increases safety, efficiency, and convenience for our entire community. Since 2012, we've increased our investment in streets by over 50%. The decision to invest in streets is one of the reasons that Lincoln has experienced strong growth. And new streets attract new businesses, new homes, and new residents. Our budget reflects a continued commitment to build transportation infrastructure at a record-setting pace. $65 million annually will be devoted to fixing and operating our streets and building new ones. As a result, among other things, the South Beltway is fully funded in this budget. The South Beltway, of course, is one of the gateways to Lincoln's future, and our partnership with the state will keep Lincoln growing for years to come. The 33rd and Cornhusker project planning is proceeding in North Lincoln, and it could have a transformational impact similar to the South Beltway in that area of town. Other important arterials scheduled for improvement in this budget include West A, Holdridge, South 40th, and also Arbor Road. The Green Light Lincoln program is making your trips safer and faster with smart traffic solutions, traffic signals and sensors that respond to traffic flow, are cost-effective solutions to transportation challenges. And our budget puts $2 million annually towards that effort. A citizen-led transportation coalition did some tremendous work this year and last year, developing a plan for our streets in the future. We need to talk about, and will talk about, implementing their proposals for the future at a near point in time. Public Works and Utilities is already implementing some of the coalition's recommendations as part of this budget. The department is also planning a name change to better reflect the nature of their work. The newly named Transportation and Utilities Department is aligning the organization and its resources to better reflect what the community values. The department has a number of other important budget modifications. Continuing Lincoln's growth requires infrastructure beyond streets. The $50 million program to expand our water and wastewater system depends on the rates paid by users. The water and wastewater divisions are seeking 5% rate increases to keep pace with the entrepreneurs and businesses that are building our economy. A great example is the Stevens Creek sewer trunk, which will have a huge impact on our sewer system in East Lincoln, just as the South Beltway will have a huge impact on our roads network. It will basically open up 17.8 miles of land to development and building projects, and it will create many, many jobs. Parking is another infrastructure that the budget has to answer for. The capital portion of the city's budget calls for 2 additional parking garages, one in the south downtown to support the businesses and residents who face limited parking options in that area. And then the South Haymarket continues to boom and parking demands continue to grow there. A garage there is necessary in the near future for several economic development projects to move ahead. Our cardboard recycling initiative has been a tremendous success. The cardboard diversion from the city's landfill started, as you know, April 1st, and the results demonstrate that Lincoln residents are doing an outstanding job of recycling. Data collected by the Transportation and Utilities Department shows a 100% increase over last year in cardboard recycling at city drop-offs. Our budget adds $300,000 annually to address the projected increased use and number of drop-off sites. Economic growth depends in part on the public-private partnerships that drive economic development projects, as you all have witnessed in the past. However, the city needs more vigorous analysis of the costs and benefits of the city's investment in these projects. A financial analyst position in the Urban Development Department will increase financial oversight. The position will give us the information we need to better evaluate the fiscal impacts of TIF projects, land sales, and federally funded housing programs, among other things. The new analyst replaces a position eliminated during the recent reorganization of the department. Last but not least, in fact, it's one of the facts I like best, the total number of city full-time equivalent employees will increase by 14, just over 14 positions in our proposed 2018-2020 budget. But since our administration came into the mayor's office in 2007, the total city workforce has still dropped by over 28 FTEs since that time, despite all of the city's growth. If I had to summarize the budget in one word, it would be investment. Investment in police officers and firefighters to keep us safe. Investment in the innovations and infrastructures that create jobs and build our economy. And investment in our neighborhoods that maintain our high quality of life. The City of Lincoln 2018-2020 budget is an investment in the future of Lincoln so that together we can continue the growth that is propelling our community to new heights of success. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I would open myself up to questions.
Are there questions of the mayor at this time? Seeing no one, I'd like to say thank you for your presentation, and we look forward to diving into this together.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I'd like to take a small break while we let everyone file into the room and we prepare for our 3 p.m. city council meeting.
Got about a minute.
Smoking it.